Okay, everybody, welcome back to Best of 5 Series TrapDorSpida versus Baconpants. This is Game 4. We are going to merry-go-round now. Trap is currently up 2-1 over his opponent, Baconpants, who has stated, I will not be messing around anymore. So he's getting all serial on us, and he's going to try and beat his buddy up here. Thing is, though, he has let Trap get a lead. So if things go wrong just enough, this whole thing is over now. So let's see what happens. In the top left of the map on Merry-Go-Round Ladder Edition, it is our Green Terran player. Day 9 Ladder Clans, Baconpants. In top right of the map, we have our Orange Zerg player, currently up 2-1 over his opponent. It is DJ Clan's TrapDorSpida. Okay, so we got one Overlord moving toward the bottom corner of the map here to check the other spawning location. We'll see if Baconpants does the same thing. Despite being a 3-player map, this is a location, unfortunately, where a person can simply end up with a very poor scouting. Just get to your opponent's base way too late to really find anything out. And it's not as bad as like a big 4-player map like Frost, but it's still a potential concern. And I'm actually just clicking around the map right now to see if I can find the Game Hard logo. There it is. Spawns right in the middle of the map here. Is there a corresponding one over here? Yeah, nice and symmetrical. Nice. Cool. Trap scouting to the bottom of the map. Drone. Bacon actually not scouting at all this time. I think he was going... That might be actually... No. I take that back. That's a Reaper expand. Okay, so we're going to be seeing the Reaper scout here. It's actually a very good choice in this map. I'll get to his opponent's base just in time. There is a feature of this map that will probably be relevant, so time for us to talk about it. You might be looking at this and going, oh, look at all that airspace up there. No, that airspace is fake. That's a lie. This blue thing here is an airspace pathing blocker. So if you're flying around the edges of a base up here, you're forced to hug this within shooting range. So this means that for a lot of air styles, this is not the best map. Mutalisks have a little bit of trouble here. Banshees will have a little trouble here. Phoenixes could have a little bit of trouble here too, just because they can't really fly around out of range. But what doesn't have a problem here is drops. There's this location, this location, this location, and of course they can drop down here in the natural as well. And they can cut back and forth over to this location if you try to pick up the third up here, or if you try to pick the third up down here, they can attack in this location while dropping all the way up here. In other words, this is a great map for Bacon's preferred playstyle. So what I'm kind of hoping for here is that we see something interesting from Trap, though knowing him, he'll probably tend to go for usual macro play. And not that I would really blame him either, as it seems to kind of worked out into his favor for most of this show match so far. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. A Reaper moving across the map now. Looks like he's going to check the southern base first. Get to his opponent's base probably in about 5 minutes. Start checking around from there. It is thin enough time to see an extremely early expansion. Queen coming out. And second queen being built over here. Nothing particularly strange or unusual happening just yet. Command center as well as a factory coming up, so it looks like we're going to see the typical Hellion pressure that Bacon likes to go for to try and keep his opponent back at bay while he picks up saturates his second base and starts building his third. Speaking of which, there it is. Starts building third base now. Sacrifices quite a bit of gas income for this, only goes on to gets enough gas for the Reaper, puts 2 of the SCVs back onto the mineral line. It's all fairly well planned out. Reaper has now entered the main base. Last time Bacon was able to get a lot of kills with this, as Trap isn't particularly good at keeping this alive, we've noticed in the past. Unfortunately this time, I don't think he's going to get more than 1 kill with it, maybe 2. A lot of Lings are actually just about to hatch here. Trap is, yeah, okay, he's going to get the second one. And now he's going to be basically forced out of the base. As now the Lings are going to be chasing it around all over the place. He could try to kite them, but he's going to be moving around a back now, trying to get the scout off on the second base. No attempted cut off from the Lings there. And that will pretty much be the end of anything the Reaper can really do right now. As soon as speed finishes, though, that Reaper is going to be circling lunch, which is why he's running back home now. It's hard to get a lot done with that thing past this point, other than maybe putting it on the watchtower and again having it turn into circling lunch. Let's see here. We have Lings gathering up at the bottom part of the base here. There's actually very little to no defense against this right now. I think Bacon may have completely underestimated the amount of Lings that were produced. Doing a decent job of moving them back to the ramp now, but he has to actually engage against them while they're attacking this base. Waits for it to land, starts gnawing on it right away, lifts off immediately. Should take one Ling and place it under there on hold position, force him to come down and do something about it. And now Trap is able to delay this economy for quite a bit here, while Bacon just tries to build up some more Hellions. He's going to chase that one to the ramp. The rest of the Hellions are on the outside, though. Trap does not take the bait. Meanwhile, back home, he's not started his third just yet, so he's not using that pressure to try and get an economic edge. Trying to engage over the corner here. Really nice placement from Baconpants at first there. Now there's actually not enough Lings to engage directly anymore. Oh, and the door's down, but unfortunately he doesn't get up there in time. And really nice control from Baconpants. Manages to kill all the Lings, losing maybe only a single Hellion in the process. Very, very well done. Third base now started for Trap. Second has not yet been landed for Baconpants. Looks like he's doing some macro in his main base right now, trying to work on that. Or it has not yet occurred to him to actually land it. There it goes. Let's put it down, and now he's transferring those workers. Grabbing a few of them, and down they go. Double upgrades coming up here, getting his second gas. Needs to populate that with workers in just a moment. And kind of an interesting opening to this game. Baconpants seems to be a little bit behind right now. Luckily for him, his opponent is a little bit supply blocked. At least he will be for a moment until this hatchery is done. And there we go. One roach sitting out at the front of the base in between the two bases. Kind of keep an eye out here. And now the Hellions are going to move out, see what is going on around the base, see if they can pick up on the existence of the third base. There are lots of roaches. Does not want to dive in with those. Even if he gets behind the mineral line, does some damage, he will lose all the Hellions in the process. Does get some nice Ling kills. He's going to swing around the side. There is an Overlord up here actually keeping an eye on the movement around that little point. Baconpants being aware this is going to go down a little bit. Head past the watchtower and then roll around the long way to see if he can get to the third. Another roach coming out, +1 upgrade. Concussive shells, 3 marauders coming out with the army this time. So it looks like we're having a transition from Hellion into Bio, as kind of one would expect. Should be starport for Medivacs coming up as well. Hopefully he gets those up a little sooner this time. He's taking quite the risk actually in game 1. Where didn't really have the Medivacs with his army for quite some time. Kind of overstemmed him a little bit. Going to attack against this queen right here. Response is pretty late from Trap, unfortunately. Does lose the queen. Was able to get one, maybe two Hellions in response? No. Okay, only the one. Reaper's still hanging. Nope, those are 2 Widow Mines. Okay. He's probably got the Reaper as well then. Ooh, Hellion's taking kind of the wrong path there. Loses one for free. Widow Mine moving around. Hanging out by the Game Heart logo. +1 weapons coming out for Baconpants. Hasn't started the second upgrade just yet. Marines popping out from the barracks right here, and we have a reactor building on the starport. And it looks like Bacon is going to make an attempt to grab his third. We have a push moving out to try and cover this. No Medivacs with the push. We'll see if Trap is able to control against this one a little better than he did last time. Marines taking out one Overlord, being a little bit irritating. 2 Spine Crawlers in position to the third this time. And the Roaches have been split up to kind of respond against the Hellions, but this should be a good timing opening for the kind of a good positional opening, for the army, the bio army, to actually get and do some damage against the third. As long as he takes the right entryway in. Interesting placement from these Widow Mines too, so you can just retreat in a straight line back this direction. Get a lot of the army to die against that. Hellions are positioning to the north. Looks like he wants to engage here, pull the army to this location, and then run around with the Hellions into the main base. I'd be able to get some damage done with that. In fact, he's just going to go for a straight two-prong push with Bio as well. Fourth base picking up by Trap down here in the south. So everything is extremely, extremely well spread out. If he does this correctly, Bacon should be able to do an incredible amount of damage. This is just going to be very, very hard to deal with in general. One Spore Crawler building there. One in the third. Nothing in the main base as far as air defenses go. He does have 3 Overlords parked here, but it's not really quite enough. Unfortunately, this hatchery doesn't have enough vision to pick up on an army being there just yet. Likewise, it seems that Bacon hasn't really noticed it. Okay, now he's going to move down and attack it. Going to force the cancel on this base as long as Trap's actually quick enough. His usual reaction time seems to be about a second and a half. He's able to get to that in time. Now it's going to be a continued push north. The Roach Hydra army is positioning now at the third base, making a little bit of an opening at the north here. And yeah, Baconpants maybe pick up and do a drop. Just kind of feign pressure here. Yep, there he goes. 2 medevacs going up into the main base. There's no creep or anything to watch for this up here. I think he might have skirted around the edge of the vision of the Overlords, and here comes the drop. Looks like he's found the Roach Warren. Oh, with Roach speed, he's going to try and cancel. Is he going to try and cancel that? No, he's not going for it. He's just going for workers. Okay. He actually, Roach speed may finish. Just barely in time. Oh, is he going to do it? Is he going to fish? He doesn't. He didn't get it. Leo Reconstitution was denied. So a lot of damage actually been done with this drop already here. Baconpants pretty much already reached maxed army state now against his opponent. Only able to get a few pieces of the army in return. Hasn't noticed the loss of the Roach Warren just yet. Hasn't rebuilt it. 2-pronged attack now, beginning attack on the third, as well as another army coming up by the natural. Probably to just try and slow down this response army that's going to come down here and try and deal with the third being attacked. A few Hydras there in time to deal with that, and a bunch that's actually just about to spawn. May be able to hold that just barely. Unfortunately for Baconpants, his army is actually totally fine. His army is probably going to... No, it's kind of close. It's kind of close, but the Zerg is taking it. All those Hydras just spawning now. Going to turn and engage the army. So, he did kill the Roach Warren. He did cancel speed. He did a lot of worker damage. 24 worker damage, but he lost his entire army in the process. And it looks like Trap's going to... Oh no, finding the Widow Mines in the middle of the map. Trap's going to basically group up here and go for an attack. Like, oh, hi. Hello, medevac. Nice of you to stop in. And here comes this basically mass Hydra army running up to this base up here. It's going to find all these barracks. 2 Widow Mines trying to plant to get some damage in. Hydras push their buddies into death right there. And now we have a Hydra on Bioball army engagement. There's medevacs here helping out with the repair. There's actually barely not enough to deal with it, though, as the bio has been more or less suppressed. He's going to lose all of his medevacs if he's not careful. 2 go down, 3 go down, 4 go down, and the 5th falls as well. Another Bioball coming down to try and help out with this. Let's see if it's enough. Hydra army engaging against the bio forces is just too much. They have too much of a concave, and Bacon may simply be unable to deal with this. He's losing more and more. The Widow Mines are helping out a little bit here. Oh, and he's parking all the Hydras above the Widow Mines. 4 Hydras die right there, and that is enough. That is enough for Baconpants to climb back into this. Unfortunately, Trap did not do any real worker damage to his opponent. He still has all the economy that he had before. So all the damage that he's taken has not quite been rebuilt yet. And I don't think does he still not have a Roach Warren? Good, no, he did rebuild it. Okay. But he's got to get a little bit more than just Hydras in that army. They do not have enough really hit points to actually deal with this Marauder Marine composition. Trap does have +2 over his opponent right now. And we'll have potentially a 2 upgrade lead. He's starting to rebuild his drone count. As long as he doesn't go too hard into this, he may be able to rebuild his army pretty quick and get over there. Baconpants still have the supply lead pretty well here. Good production on the army. A little bit behind in workers. It is very, very strong force should he try to engage with it. Putting 2 Widow Mines actually on the... not quite close enough to pick up anything running around the edge of the ramp, though. Could be good for picking up drones, but only if they try to go to the north. 2 medevacs coming in for the drop up here. They do position by the natural. Sees a little enclosed space in between the Hydroden and the Roach Warren. He's not going to use that. Will protect him pretty well against Lings actually being in that little spot. Does have his medevacs pushed out, though. May lose this army in exchange for whatever damage he's about to do here. Does lose both of the medevacs. He does take out the Hydroden. Okay, so he did do some decent damage with that. Killed some workers as well, I think. Still hasn't really suppressed the drone count so great, though. The army of Trap is actually beginning to catch up in strength here. +2 is now done on armor. Any second now. Boom. Hydrogen being rebuilt here. +2/+2 started for a Terran player, and he's going real hard into army now. Basically, this difference that you see in supply is going to mean that the eventual max army of Bacon is just going to be that much stronger over his opponents. Finds another third base hanging out here. I think as long as the upgrade difference is the way it is, the Roach Hydra can work. Though it would be nice to see some Banelings added in with the army. I think he needs fungal growth or something. He needs some splash damage against this. It's very, very, very difficult to kill this army in a straight-up engagement with just Roach Hydra. Again, though, you know, if he can keep picking it off in like little pockets like this while he has this unit upgrade, okay, if he can't fight this down here, he's not going to be able to defeat the north one either. He's trying to regroup and go for the attack. He's been pulled completely out of position. Another force is moving into his natural as we speak. Trying to chase this one down. It's going up to the 4th base now. Trap has become super over-focused on this. He's lost the natural hatchery. There's a lot of tech back here. If Bacon can actually just walk forward and kill off both the Hydra and Roach, Hydroden and Roach Warren, be in a good position from here. Unfortunately, he lost his entire army down there. So he's taking quite a bit of damage back there. He's going to, does take out the tech back at the natural. This is an awkward situation for our Zerg player, and one that I don't know he can recover from so great. The medevacs are actually just about to join up with the army here and start healing it from all the stim damage. There's only 2 Hydras in play, so they can't really deny the healing at all. He is going to maybe be able to kill the army here. Interesting move to get up on top of the army with a move command like that. Melee damage that you get with the Roaches does increase their DPS significantly, but only really able to function for a moment there. Looks like he's going to try and move out, but another army is already present down here. Taking Widow Mine hits in the process as well into the north. He's going to lose this 4th base no matter what. He's too far out of position to be able to respond to this. Unless Baconpants retreats and tries to deal with the attack on his 3rd that's just about to commence. Supply depot, interestingly positioned, slows down the army a little bit here. And it looks like he's just going to go for the production that just happens to be here, take out what he can and fall back maybe? Yeah, what he really needs here is he needs to kill one of these command centers. He needs to deny mining. He needs to harm Baconpants' ability to replenish his army, because that's basically been his undoing in all of these fights. Is that no matter all the damage he does, and he's trying to focus down this... Okay, so half the army is trying to delay this piece right here while he takes out the command center. He does get it, but was it enough? Was it worth exchanging the entire army for that? Still cannot reproduce the Roaches and the Hydras. You can only produce Lings on the back of this, which unfortunately rallied kind of right over there into the main area of the conflict. Doesn't have any Banelings to go with this, so it's just pure Ling for the moment, and this is a huge, huge opening for Baconpants right now, where he can just get into a lot of damage. The Lings will not be able to engage against this at all. It's way too much DPS in this army. Oh boy. Ling's charging past the army. Looks like he wants to swing around for a counterattack here. He's going to try and make Baconpants make a choice here. Go save your stuff or come kill mine. And honestly, the choice here is to just go kill Trap's stuff. I mean, he knows that he's got what? He's got a command center building here. He's got one that's mining down here. He's got another one that's just finished down here. So what if the Lings kill one of them off? He's going to do way, way, way more proportional damage to Trap in return. He's killed all of the drones at this base. He's going to kill the new Hydroden, which unfortunately has been placed in an extraordinarily vulnerable location at the 3rd. Down it goes. And then he's just going to push up from there into the main. There's nothing left. These Lings have been stopped by a wall-in at the natural. Or they should have been. Do manage to almost kill that one Marauder before the surrender occurs. GG.